This is Henrik Karapetyan, and in this video we're going to talk about a specific problem that a lot of, especially beginning violinists, experience with the up bow stroke. As you know, the down bow, because of gravity, it's easier to just move the bow down. On the up bow, there are specific movements that we need to do in order to keep the bow parallel to the bridge. So let me demonstrate that actually. So in another video, I will explore this topic a little bit more in detail, but just to start us going, the movement of the bow from the frog to the tip includes technically just three main movements, three main segments. One of them is the forearm, right here, moving the bow just about to the middle. And then from this point on, depending on the length of the arm or even on what string we are, the elbow takes over. So I think that the upper arm taking the bow down, and then the forearm continues that, and then there comes the last little segment, which is the wrist, opening out this way. Now, this last movement, I have seen violinists, some very reputable players, great players. One of them, Giuliano Carmignola, great violinist. Because of the length of the arms, sometimes this movement is not really necessary, because by the time you have opened your elbow, there is no more bow to go. But for most violinists, this third movement, where the wrist is going out, is a part of the bowing pattern. And notice that when I move my wrist out, my upper arm is moving forward. Here, I'll just show the little section by itself. 1, 2. Now, wrist is going to open. Look at my upper arm. It opens out. Now, this causes problems on how to get back to how to start the up bow. So that's what the talk is going to be about. One thing that I've seen really help my students is thinking almost like thinking that at this point the arm is a little bit locked. So 1, 2, 3, and we have to unlock it. It's just that concept of unlocking it. And unlocking, in order to unlock it, first you need to think about moving the upper arm back. Before you do any movement with your wrist, moving the upper arm back. I'll explain why. A lot of students try, or even players too, trying to bring the bow back, they try to roll the wrist right here, and it causes the index finger right there to roll forward, which is really messing up with your hold. So that movement is making it impossible to go on. And you remember we talked about 1, 2, upper arm going forward. So first, move it back. So here is the first exercise. Put the bow at the tip and just pivot the bow around that axis. And I'm doing it by simply unlocking this muscle, just moving it back and forth. Now this makes sense, I guess, right? Now I'll show you an exercise. This is where we start. The second, stage of it will be moving the bow forward and doing that exercise just a little bit. Just to bring the upper arm back and get the wrist in a good position. And then, when you move your arm up, really try to feel like someone is pushing under your wrist. It'll be possible now because the wrist is it's not in a stressed condition. It's in the back here. It's a normal position. And that allows for a normal return back to the frog. So what does this mean? That we're going to bow like this, like a little triangle like that? No, that'll just be an exercise basically, which will eventually become a little loop. So I will show that loop first. If you look, you will see that. stays more or less parallel to the bridge, which is the ultimate goal of a violinist. So just to summarize, I will show you this kind of a quick pattern of the exercises you can do to improve your bowing pattern. This. Really relaxing, unlocking the arm. That's the first stage. Do it for a minute or two just to learn the movement. Second thing. An inch or two back and head up. And then the pattern doesn't necessarily have to be like too circular. It's more just the concept of loosening here, the upper arm, loosening the upper arm, unlocking that in order to be able to go up, if that makes sense. So sometimes you might, eventually you might find yourself just going just straight up because you've already mastered the movement, and even with a little flicker of a wrist, you're unlocking that whole mechanism. So aspects of violin playing. Thanks for watching, and please write your suggestion. Tell me how how this video helped, or maybe didn't help, improve your technique. Thank you. Until soon.